Okay. We're live. It says you're live. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, we're
We're
live.
live.
Hi.
Hello. As we're all like, hi, 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 hi.
Good
Hi.
morning, beautiful ladies.
Yeah,
Good
good
morning.
morning.
Hi, Ash.
There we go. I was the girls were just having to calm me down because I'm a go big or go home type of gal. So I was like, I could get a black curtain and put that behind me, or I could just design an entire set like over in 12 hours. Me and my boyfriend like paint the entire fucking room, like try. Anyways, goddamn. Sorry, Marilyn. I already unmonetized your video.
No, it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. I can't
This
help
is
it.
worth
Oh,
it. This is fucking
it looks
fucking
amazing.
worth it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your background looks amazing.
You guys
and
are the sweetest.
Alan,
You guys.
I love yours too. You got what? A murder board?
I got a murder
Yeah.
board with our
Oh,
I
we
mean,
already
it's on the
said
other
murder.
side. Our leading lady here in the middle, as a leader? Question mark.
I love it.
Ash.
It's a beautiful
You're gonna have to
picture.
zoom to I grabbed it from one of your screenshot stills from our podcast recordings, and it's my favorite one because you're sort of giving me the look you give me like when I don't laugh or I say something ridiculous. So I had to pick that one.
Okay, let's take that over again. This time you laugh out loud to my joke, Fallon.
Yeah.
Thanks. The podcast. I can't. Yeah.
That's the
So-
address.com.
Anyways, oh my gosh, we have 20 people here. So
Hi,
exciting.
everybody.
All
I'm looking
right.
at, I'm looking
There
at
are-
comments over
Welcome,
here.
everybody.
Yeah, let's
Hi.
say
Hi,
hello to our people. Hi, Kat.
Hey, Kat.
Kat, good to see you. Kat is one of my fabulous mods, so thanks so much, Kat.
Disturbingly excited.
Welcome to the mod team, Kat.
I have my
Ooh.
Little Mermaid mug today.
Hi, Sophia.
And next
I have
week,
mine.
we are talking about on the podcast, which I guess I'll introduce in a second. We're going to be talking about Disney princess origin stories. Y'all, it is not this cute. Like, I love The Little Mermaid and I will forever, and you can't stop me. But if you are not listening to the podcast yet, you should be. It's called That's So Fucked Up. I am the main host, Ashley Love Richards, and right here below me is my co-host,
Fallon Morey. Hey, everyone.
There's Duncan.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Duncan popped in, and Peggy.
Hello. Good
I mean,
morning,
I think
everybody.
most of the people are probably pretty familiar with Marilyn and or I, but so they probably know you. But who are you, Peggy?
I am a researcher for That's So Fucked Up the podcast, and I also love to hang out and chat with Marilyn about culty stuff.
Yeah.
I'm excited
And-
to be on a recording with you, Peggy. I'm super
I know,
stoked
this is our
about
first
this. It is
time.
our first time. So happy.
Alan and I work together behind the scenes a
We
lot, but we have
do.
not yet got to chat online.
That's right.
You guys are all doing this thing where you're looking like really straight on at the camera, and I'm looking off to the side, and I don't know how to.
That's
fix
because
that.
my main screen is right in front of me because I only have one screen. So if I looked over here, I'd be looking at a basket of highlighters.
You guys, you know what? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will move my screen back to my screen that's more in front of me.
There
Yeah,
you
I've had to move my screen so that it's like right in front of me, but I am also looking at comments right now so that we can.
We are on while I'm on a tech adventure, please, you guys, keep saying hello. I know we got Brian, poet. What do you like going by, Brian?
Hey,
What do you like being
Joel.
called, Brian or poet? Joel's here,
Thank you.
Sophia.
That's both. Hi, Joel. It's
Hey,
good to
Joel.
see you.
Oh,
Hey,
look, I'm
Joel.
more of a normal person now, not like doing that 80s thing where you're looking off to the fucking side in the portrait. And like, so what do
Like-
you guys think?
We're just here for your glamour shots where you have like your own head floating above you over here and you're also looking over here.
Okay, thank you. Oh,
We already said hi to Jennifer from Ego Next Door.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
Hello.
Love It's here.
Mhm.
Freezinu.
Alicia.
Nice. Yay.
George, Susie Q, Lydia, Mina, not my Michael, number 5 in letter A, Aurora N, Alicia, Beachcomber, Miss
Hi, everybody.
Sunshine, Miss Sunrise Dawn, Armine. Damn, y'all. McGuire 708, Julie. I want to say hi to everybody. Game Over Cholo. That's Chris. He's one of our
Hi.
patrons.
Yeah.
Hi. Chris is like one of my
How's it going,
absolute favorite. I mean, I love all the book club members, and we have a book and documentary club on the Patreon, but Chris picks such good shit. So shout out to Chris. Sophia, shout out because she's going to be a mod for the channel for me.
Oh,
And
sweet.
so
Awesome,
so is
Sophia.
Alicia.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
Alicia and
great.
Sophia are both going to be helping us out. So
I love it.
shout out to them. Thank you so much, y'all.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sophia. Look,
It's Ash tries not to cuss again.
Sophia, we already hit that. We're good.
I did that in the first like 10 seconds. I was like, fucking God damn it. Oh, I was like literally crying. And then I slapped myself and I said, it's showtime, bitch. And then I said, hey, be nice to you. And then I gave myself
Yeah.
a nice little face rub and I said, it's okay. Here we go.
It definitely looked like some sort of TV show about people about ready to go on for Broadway or something like whack, whack. Let's go.
The show must go on.
Chin up, boobs out. Show must go on, right? We're gone.
I got that. There you are, Ash. How are you today? Hi.
Hi.
I'm like a lot better now that we're on. I was like so anxious this morning. I felt all sick because I don't know. I was just like, oh, it's like 4 of us and it's a new format and so many people are gonna be there. Like 38 people. Oh my God, you guys, so excited.
Yes.
yeah.
Thank
You've
you,
been
everyone,
working
for coming.
really hard on your studio. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
And how
Yeah.
are you ladies this morning? We've all been kind of randomly texting frantically what we try to do the rest of our life.
Totally. I mean, I've been running around. I had a meeting this morning. It went really well, but I'm just, trying to tidy up, deal with the dogs, do all the Sunday morning stuff, right? I'm
Yeah,
doing
what
the
day is it?
Saturday morning stuff on Sunday morning. And yeah, so and like looking at my notes and looking at Ash's notes, and she added more things, and I'm like, holy shit, yeah, that too. Oh, and another thing in those assholes. And oh my God, I've been fired up about this. I binged
There's
it all last week.
so much to talk about, you guys.
Oh my God, so much. So we should probably get
to
into it sooner than later, but let's wait a little bit. We still have some people trickling in.
Well, I had
right?
I had a little comment from Mr. Duncan. I hear that I didn't star, so I have to scroll up. But I wanted
What does he want? He broke into my camera.
Who is that guy?
Oh,
Why
just
is that
Duncan.
Guy.
Duncan's
Why
like
is he-
somebody said something about me. Could you go back to that?
why
Yes,
does he keep
Duncan.
following us around.
They're people are awaiting it. I love it. Says that everybody's awaiting your part 2 of NDEs. You guys, can we stop it
was
with the
great.
freaking acronyms without explaining what they are?
Near-death
Near-death experiences.
You know what?
Yeah.
Even though Ashley does love an acronym, and she does,
I do.
but
I do.
we need to know what they are first. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been watching too much Scientology content, ex-Scientology content, because they're big on acronyms. But I'm like, no, not everybody knows what NDEs mean.
Well, apparently I have too, because this morning I was like, you guys, they're telling people like that they're pulling it in. What is that from? And I couldn't remember if it was Bundy or what, because we've been deep in the Duggars and IBLP and fundamentalist world for so long.
we have been deep into the Duggars.
Somebody's been deep into the Duggars, I tell you.
We've been digging into the Duggars, I think. Right?
We've been digging into the Duggars deeply.
Deeply.
And then I asked them, and Marilyn was like, "Oh, that's Scientology." Marilyn or Peggy said that pulling it in is Scientology.
Yeah, probably it's all, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's up there.
It's like the Brady Bunch. I love it.
I know.
Yeah. So if you guys know of anything, should we put a trigger warning? Yeah, dude. You know what? These people are
basically,
fucked.
If you're watching this and you have not seen much about them, big trigger warning right now. We're going to talk about some pretty disturbing stuff.
Yes.
They, what's crazy to me is like they look so innocuous on the surface. They just look
Yes.
like a couple of stupid fucking hipsters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they're like, hey, what's up to our Facebook page? And like, what? Oh, do you guys like true love? Like, so do we. Oh, fuck yeah. And like, they don't have like that like Bill Gothard or David Miscavige or
No.
fucking
Right.
whatever type of vibe.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, it's like, oh, hey, we're young and hip. Like, you got, hey, kids.
They sort of remind me of those, like they look like those Christian influencers that are
That's
all
what I was
popular that we
just
talked about.
Paul and
kept
Morgan.
thinking.
Yes, like Paul and
Yeah.
Morgan, who are
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
like young, just like living in their apartment and talking to all their friends. But this dude is like straight up cult
You
leader.
could see as he went on, like his hair got greasy. He just got more like, a Keith Raniere, like, they just start to get unkempt and a little bit
I couldn't
madman
tell.
looking.
Yeah, I couldn't tell
Oh.
because they started out when they first met, and he has like the long shaggy hair, as he's like a
Yeah.
nomadic traveler or something, and then
Right.
later he has short hair at all his business calls, and then he has long
Oh,
hair
I guess I got
again.
it mixed
I
up
was very
because
confused.
I got mixed up because towards the end they were showing some of the straggly stuff again.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe he got all crazy madman again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me pop
It's like-
in, you guys. Spoiler alert. That's when Jeff starts to claim that he's Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was
Mhm.
thinking, I think it would be a great day to play a round of Cult Bingo. What do you
I-
gals think?
I agree.
Absolutely.
I have not gotten to play Cult Bingo yet.
You serious?
Do you
You
want to
never
play?
even played it at home by yourself?
No, but like not like with
Okay,
know.
not on the show. Okay, got it.
Are we
All
gonna
right,
pull it up
so-
and play it like we
yeah.
did last week?
Sha.
Cha.
I am figuring that out right now, girl. Screen layout. Help me. Present. Okay, I always forget. Share screen.
Holy crap! I have like
This,
10
like-
mods on right now.
All the
Sometimes
mods are here.
Sometimes I have no mods. Good to see all you mods. Thank you.
And sometimes it's like all
Thank you for
blue
being
messages.
here.
Yeah.
Yes, exciting.
Welcome to all of the new mods too on
Yes.
Ash's and Marilyn's feeds. Welcome to the gang.
Yes, thank
And
you.
welcome to Atlanta, where the players play.
Yeah. What?
Okay. You guys, god damn it. It's like ludicrous or something. Oh, you guys are embarrassing. Let's move on.
It's hard to tell a ludicrous song when you're just like casually, welcome to Atlanta where the players play. Like you're telling
A
me about the
hotel,
weather.
motel, Holiday Inn. You don't know
That
like,
one I would
what-
recognize.
Come on, please.
You're lucky
Okay.
you're 2 tiles above me, lady.
I know. I feel like I'm on that fucking show where they sit in the squares.
Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, that one, or the Brady Bunch.
The Brady
Um,
Bunch.
Okay, so let's there's 4 of us. Let's go line by line and like
Okay.
each I will accordingly click the bingo according to your answer. So like I'll do the bingo quiz type of thing. And
Yeah.
I think most of the people tuned in probably know Marilyn, but Marilyn, Duncan was distracting you when we all introduced ourselves. So like, why don't you just introduce yourself in case people are watching on my channel? I can't see right now because it's connected, but I know people are. What's up, you guys? I'm sure they know who you are. They probably know me from you, but still.
Yeah, you have your own following. I'm sure there are people I don't know on here. So hello everyone. Hello. I'm Marilyn Honig. I have a channel called Coffee, Cults, and Crafts where we discuss coercive control, like a lot like Ashley does. I have guests on. I do something called Morning Musings where I just kind of throw some subjects out there and say what's on my mind, and we have like a little kind of intimate chit chat in the chat box, and I have a lot of fun. And I got into this space by making a lot of friends on SPTV, ex-Scientologists, kind of a network of people, and I love this community. And yeah, so I'm just kind of growing with it. And Ash and Peggy are friends of mine, and I just met a new friend, Fallon. So I'm excited. I'm revved up for this because I love talking about cults, not because I love cults, but because I love exposing them. And I was in one myself. So yeah.
Agreed.
And on a side note, as far as Marilyn goes, if you'd like to hear her story, go to Roberta Blevin's podcast called Life After MLM. And Marilyn has an excellent episode that just got released. And bring your tissues also.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. Good point.
Yes, thank you, mods, for and thank you, Ash, for saying
Thank you,
that.
Ash, for modding.
Ashley's like, I didn't.
Ashley, you're on mute, I
you're
think.
sweetie.
And if you're on my channel, head on over to Ash's channel. If one of my mods can put up the link, that would be awesome. And make sure you like and subscribe to That's So Fucked Up Live. That's So Fucked Up Podcast Live.
I finally got to change the handle back to what it kind of originally was. So now we are tsfuthepodcast.com, at tsfu the podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, except they're all cesspools and I don't do anything on any of them except for Instagram. I'm sorry, Marilyn. I know you have a great Facebook group. I just like Facebook's not my jam. I just like I don't know. It's just
well, you're not a middle-aged crochet lady. Just saying, you're fun and hip.
I don't crochet. That's true.
I'm the designated mole in the
My
Facebook.
kids say Facebook is for old people now.
Yep, it is.
By the time we learned it, all the younger kids left.
Yep.
All of my, you know what though? All of my favorite people are old people. So cut it out, okay?
Awesome.
And
I just want to mention one more thing. We
yeah.
are doing a drawing. You can, Ash, you can decide when we're going to
Okay.
do that. I don't think we ended up downloading that magic thing that StreamYard has yet, but we'll figure out how to do it with the chat, and you let me know. We're going to give away an item from my my Coffee Cults and Crafts merch store. It's right on my page, the store. You can check things out and pick something that you like if you win, and you can send me an email, and I'll give you the email, and I'll send it to you. So I'll send you a link.
Awesome.
Right. So
and earlier this week, what is time? I don't know. We did give, that was Friday. Oh my gosh.
Friday.
On Friday, Fallon and I recorded our first episode of That's So Fucked Up Live, and we gave away a tote bag at the end to our awesome new mod, Alicia.
Yeah.
She's been in all the chats.
Alicia.
There's so many awesome people. Yeah,
There
my
are.
bad.
There are, seriously.
Yeah. So definitely, we're going to be doing some fun lives where we're going to do some giveaways. So make sure to tune in. April Knife, what's up? I love that name. Said, I'm so glad you're covering the Jeff and Shalia story. The Twin Flames movement got very weird and culty among many content creators a number of years ago. It gets very weird. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I don't know much about that. Do you guys?
About
About
it being
with
among content creators.
Yeah, no, I don't know anything about that. So
okay, yeah, I have not heard.
April,
about that
if you could expand on that, that would be awesome.
for sure.
We'll definitely touch on it. Okay, so yeah, bingo has 5 lines. I forgot, but whatever. We'll just let's start with Peggy. Okay, sex only with leader.
No.
Those who leave are bad or evil.
Yes.
Jesus is an alien.
No.
Medicine not allowed.
I don't think so. I don't think that. Mm-mm.
And Marilyn or Fallon, jump in if you can think of.
If you disagree, yeah.
Right.
I don't remember anything like that. No.
Compound.
No, but I'm going to say no, but they have their house where people, I don't know if they have to come and work at their house or if they want to. It wasn't really clear on that part, but like they come and clean their house and cook for them, which was
They were building.
Towards the end they were.
They were going to
Yeah.
build their own
They are?
church, and they were telling people they had to go live in like trailers on the land on their new church. So I would,
Oh,
Fun.
geez.
They wanted
Okay.
them to move to Michigan where they
Yeah.
were. And this is like what 38,000 members all over the world. So yeah.
Okay.
I love
So, yes,
how
compound.
openly he says. I love how openly he says in the documentary. Also, for anybody just tuning in, we're talking about Twin Flames universe today. Absolutely a cult. Amazon Prime released a docuseries, 3-part docuseries on it a few weeks ago called Desperately Seeking Soulmate, Escaping Twin Flames. And I believe the one on Netflix is just called Escaping Twin Flames.
Okay,
that
I was actually going to
correct?
ask that. Who watched what? Because I've only watched the Amazon one. I did not watch the Netflix one. I watched the
I-
one with the reporter, who was the reporter for, what was it? The New York, no, not the New York Times.
So you watched the one on Amazon.
Yeah, I watched that one.
yeah,
I
I
did
watched
not see the Netflix one.
Netflix.
I
And
watched the
Marilyn?
Netflix. I watched Netflix and part of the Amazon one until I passed out last night. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Halfway.
so I watched the Amazon one when it first came out, and then as soon as the Netflix came out, I watched it twice, and then I watched the first like in the background this morning while I was getting ready and stuff. I kind of watched the first 2 episodes again. I'm obsessed because like I said, they come off as so innocuous looking, but they are literally pulling all of the fucking stops, the most evil ones, all of the things that they're kind of putting together is so fucked up, which is why it's a great topic for us to talk about. So let's like keep going with bingo. Cut off ties from family and other non-members. Marilyn, this is you.
Yes.
So much of that.
Major,
No
yeah.
sex. So celibacy, chastity.
No, kind of the opposite. It was like sex every day. Right.
Right.
Once they had their people.
Well, and we'll dive into that a little bit more. They say that they totally promote like rape culture because they say that a man has to have sex every day. I mean, at least in fundamentalist Christianity, they say every 3 days. Twin Flames, they say every fucking day, which like Jesus Christ. Fuck no, dude.
Like,
Get the
I'm
fuck
sorry.
out of me. Get
I got
away
shit
from me.
to do. I've got stuff
No.
to do, y'all.
Are you
I cannot
kidding
be
me?
laying in bed every single day.
Yeah.
No,
And just we can get into this, but he was basically bragging how he had jumped on his wife and basically.
Yeah, he
made
was
her-
like
No, he-
joking when he was going, and she'll go, no, and then I'll like jump on top of her, and she'll go, no, and I'll kiss her, and she'll.
So gross.
So that again draws the line to the whole fundamentalist, supposed to be there for your man whenever he wants it kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it becomes so misogynistic, which is so crazy too, because women make up the absolute majority of the group. Which is why we see all this sexual coercion later with the genders and stuff, which we'll get into. So Marilyn, to continue, sleep deprivation.
I didn't see any of that I could
Separation.
tell. I mean, go ahead.
Sorry. Did you have more to
No,
expand? Okay.
I guess not.
Separation of family members within.
I don't know. Is any like family members that were like together in the cult? Is that what it means?
Yeah.
But everybody was sort of like looking to them. So if there was, they probably would have had to be sort of separate in a way. Like they were all like the snitch culture and all that. But no, I don't think they separated families as long as they were okay with the cult. Right?
They were separating couples. Oh, sorry.
That's
Ash.
true. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Fallon,
I was
please.
just going to say they were separating couples. Like they would say first, I think they said like 2 people were each other's twin flames. And then he came out with his like divinely inspired list that said, just kidding. All these people are now men. And by the way, here are your new official twin flames. And I think they said a couple people who had previously been coupled together were no longer and they had to be switched. So
So we can definitely say leader dictates leader dictates members' romantic relationships. That's a heck yes.
100%.
Absolutely.
Fallon, your turn. Justification of anything leader deems necessary.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Big fat yes. Brainwashing.
Yeah, I think so.
Sex with leader for spiritual growth.
No.
Special
No.
title for leader.
Yes.
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 Sorry, Fallon.
They called themselves gurus
And he was
on their
Jesus.
website. And he was Jesus. He was Jesus. Yeah.
Okay, so I will take over now. Leader has Sanskrit name. They didn't nothing like that, right? Because I know they do a lot of fucking like
Angie
Eastern
had to put it-
philosophy.
yeah, probably not Sanskrit, but they did have to get new names later on.
Charismatic leader. I don't know how, but yes. Multiple groups in different locations. We know that's very true. They're very much an online kind of cult. Mass graves. I mean, if you want to talk about people's like self-esteem and general sense of
Their soul.
like well-being and their soul, yeah, but we won't count that. Wannabe rock star. Listen, that's a little bit loose, but Jeff totally fucking wants to be a rock star of
Oh, yeah.
some
I would say
kind,
yes.
whether it's Jesus Christ Superstar or whatever, like
he's got the Jared Leto thing going.
Yeah,
Oh.
before at the beginning of the doc, he says that before this even all started, he had posted something saying, like, making a joke about moving to the jungle and giving everyone Flavor Aid and saying, like, well, I guess you could call me a cult leader. He didn't have a cult at that point, and he was calling himself a cult leader. Like, this guy wanted to be a rock star cult leader for sure.
Oh, he's been making plans for a while. It's crazy.
Mhm.
And Peggy, let's go back to you. Yoga. I think they're doing yoga. Come on,
so.
right?
You think so?
I don't know. I don't feel like it was explicitly a part of it, but I feel like they're fucking doing yoga.
They're doing bed yoga.
They're doing so much. They're mixing so much kind of.
Yeah, it was so hard to pin them down.
I know,
Like,
that's
what the hell
very
did they
true.
believe?
It's like
It was very
you guys
fluid.
you're Christian, but you're very fucking new age and you're quoting the Bible all the time. But then you're like twin flames, which is a very kind of like, I don't know, new age concept. I don't know what you would call it. See, actually,
and
Not My Michael said Megan Fox and Megan Machine Gun Kelly, both giant douches, were twin flames a couple years ago, but I never heard of the cult before this month. Are they still twin flames? Because if you like untwin flame so publicly, isn't that?
Can you still go back and be twin flame?
Well, I mean, I'm just like, I'm not throwing shade at anybody except for Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly because they're so just like, hey, we're like so hot and so in love.
But Megan Fox is really hot. I mean,
no, I know, but whatever.
You
Shut
cannot
up.
deny that. That's
I'm not denying that. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, they're hot and they know it, and it's annoying, but
George said they were doing Om chants, etc., which is used in yoga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yep. See,
Thank you. You're right.
April said,
I think we saw that.
Some of the creators who claim to be twin flames online while collecting money offered online community. So kind of doing the same shit as Jeff and Shalia were, just like not as successfully. That's cute.
Okay.
Ugh. Okay, so we got yoga. That's a yes. Leaders in I mean, we have talked about that a bunch already. Absolute commitment. I mean, yes.
Yes.
All knowing.
Oh my God,
yes.
Yeah.
Designated hierarchy. You
Absolutely.
guys, that's a motherfucking
double
bingo. And I guess I should have said this in the beginning, but if you guys, yeah, it's definitely a cult. It checks all the boxes, quite literally. So that's that. That was fun. If you guys want to play cult bingo, if you're wondering if you're in a cult or if somebody is in a cult or anything like that, tsfthepodcast.com, click play with us, and there you will find our bingo. It's pretty fun, I think. It's a fun way to see what's a cult and what's not,
Yeah.
Delightful. So yeah, I watched both of the documentaries. I think they were both really good. I Steve-O asked who bled on the bingo card. Jeff and Shalia. That's who. Because
The
let's
twin
let's
flakes. We call them
Twin flakes.
Flakes.
Yeah. Assholes. Yeah, so I did a little bit of I prepared a few questions to kind of get things going. And you guys please feel free to add in your own questions, and some of our mods can star them as we go along, and also if we notice anything we'll definitely weigh in on it. So my notes started super organized. Okay, so first of all, can somebody explain like what is a twin flame for anybody who's not
Yeah,
in the
I've
know?
got that. I've got some notes. So
Awesome.
actually, this is a good way to address the Megan Fox Machine Gun Kelly thing, because there is a trend to call people your twin flame. Like if you feel like somebody's your soulmate, that's been around for a while. That is separate from this, which is Twin Flames Universe. So the cult itself is separate from the people who are like, this is my twin flame. So that's kind of more what Megan Fox and MGK are referring to. And I hear a lot of like Gen Z millennials there. It's kind of a thing to call your soulmate or your partner or whatever your twin flame. But I know I was talking about this with my daughter, and my daughter's 26 and she has you know, a very amazing life partner. But we were talking about this because, you know, she's kind of like, not everything's a cult, mom, you know. And so
You're like, it is. Okay,
I
you have
know,
so much
I know.
life to live. Shut your
Except
mouth.
it is all
But
cult.
it is. But I was explaining to her about like, yeah, but like this is the cult we're talking about. Like I totally understand what you're saying. You know people that are like, this is my twin flame. I get that.
Right.
Those people are probably not in this
Yeah.
specific cult with these specific dangerous people.
Right, because twin flames is it's a pretty like it is a term that is like used a lot as kind of like, oh, soulmate. Lovett said that twin flames are when a soul incarnates in two bodies. So it's basically like you know, it's your other half.
Right,
Like you're
right.
incomplete without your twin flame, because they're the other half of your soul.
Exactly.
And
There's
Jeff is sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
And Jeff is pretty clear when he's talking to the one girl in the documentary. Now I can't remember her name, but he says that, you know, we don't get to pick them. We don't get to pick who is our twin flame. So it's not a person that you pick out and decide that you're going to date and then go, oh, okay, yeah, this person is my soulmate. It's just someone that is sort of like divinely put on you, which is why people are later going after, you know, people that are already married and in relationships, don't like them,
Just not interested at
not
all.
interested. They're being forced to go after people
they're being
because
forced to stalk them. Some, you know, somebody got arrested for restraining right, for violating restraining order. Is insane. Yeah.
Well, and then the gaslighting that goes on after that situation. Her name was Elle. Like they encourage you to fucking stalk your soulmate. Then she gets jailed for a goddamn month for stalking her soulmate and breaking the restraining order. And then he's like, yeah, so why don't you tell the group about how you totally stalked that guy and how everything's your fault and you're a dumb whore. Like paraphrasing, but basically what he said. Really quick, George Massey asked, what did you think of the dad's comments in the Prime version about his belief that she is the main driver of the philosophy, even though she rarely speaks and lets Jeff take the lead? I think that's a really interesting question, George, because Jeff absolutely comes off as the loudmouthed, controlling, misogynistic, fucking rapey asshole. And Shalia just kind of is, she barely ever says anything. She sits there and she's very quiet. You know who else was super fucking quiet though? Take a guess. Can anybody guess? Cat or chat. Cat. I saw Cat's name. If anybody in the chat or anybody here can guess, come on. What cult leader? They were a male and female duo, and the male was like the mouthpiece, but the woman was in the background, like really pulling the strings. Come on.
Well, I'm thinking about Rajneesh.
No,
That is one
Anybody?
of them. No.
Jim Jones.
I wouldn't say Sheila.
Mm-mm.
Sheila was not pulling the strings. I mean,
But she was loudmouth.
At the end,
He-
he was.
he
At
took
the
his
end,
mouth-
he was.
He took a vow of silence for like a long time.
Yeah.
But
She
he
running
was still
everything.
talking. I know, but he was still
To
telling her
her.
what to
Oh.
do behind
Yeah,
the
that's true.
scenes.
That's
Okay,
true.
you guys, it's yes, maybe Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. Sorry, you guys. I
Oh.
don't know that story.
That's
So
actually who I thought of at first too.
Interesting.
But
Really, I know
now
a
I
lot about
got
Tammy
now I
Faye.
got
Heaven's Gate.
Linda and PTS for life. That's what I was thinking. Heaven's
That's a
Gate.
good one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marshall Applewhite is who everybody thinks of with the white hair and the
Right, but it
Yeah.
was
crazy
her.
big
Yeah.
eyes. But
Yeah.
Bonnie Nettles was behind the scenes, like totally fucking running shit. She was
Totally.
Yeah.
Marshall Applewhite's kind of cult leader. Like he was
Totally.
definitely
Yeah.
below her.
And she came up with the idea just like with Jeff. I mean, he was trying to cure cancer for 10 years before and I can't remember. Shalia came into the picture and basically taught him about this twin flame thing. And he's like, "Hey, I can make money on this. Let's do this now."
Yeah.
You know?
She also strikes me as someone that's, though, at this point in it, extreme. Like she met this guy and now it's like a runaway train. And I'm not saying that she's a victim, but I think she's a victim of him to an extent because he's the one talking to her about. She came to him as this like strong free spirit, and now she's with a guy that insists she have sex with him whenever she wants. He does all the talking. She sits silent. And at one point, I don't know if you noticed in the Netflix doc when they were talking about their miscarriage, that she looked at him, she's like, "I will tell them what the doctor said to me. You're wrong," or something like that. And he was like, "Okay." Like she gets run over on a lot.
Mm.
Yeah. Again, which reminds me of Paul and Morgan. If you guys aren't aware of who we're talking about Paul and Morgan Algies. They have a YouTube channel. Please don't go watch it. They really don't need the fucking views. But if you watch Shiny Happy People, which was also on Amazon Prime, which was also an amazing movie. I don't have kids, so I get to watch a lot of documentaries. It's awesome because I'm obsessed. So Shiny Happy People, I watched like I don't know how many times, but we all did. Marilyn, I don't know if you watched it multiple times, but me and
Shiny
Fallon,
Happy People.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was like
Oh yeah,
one of
I
my
watched
cults.
the shit out of that.
Well, you know, my cult was two cults combined. It was IBLP and charismatic, Pentecostal. So IBLP. Oh my God, when I watched Shiny Happy People, I realized what a lot of that shit where it came from. I was like, that was Gothard. Oh my God, that was
Whoa.
yeah. I mean,
Boom, boom. Yeah.
I got their book.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I don't know how you can have that evil like in your home. It doesn't emanate like a evil vibe or something.
Well, my kids came over and they were hitting each other with it because this was like our Bible that we had to and so they had a wooden spoon and I'll show you. I'll send you the picture sometime. It's really funny. So it's more
gotta
like,
have fun.
like an object lesson. It's just like this fucking thing. And I like to throw it. I like to throw it around the room.
Nice. Yeah. Fuck that thing.
To go
You
back
guys,
to the
it's
question.
a child abuse manual.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, really. No worries. I was just
Yeah, to
just
go back
in
to the
case
question,
anybody was wondering what it was. Mhm.
which was whether we thought she was behind the string, pulling the strings. I think maybe a little at the beginning. And I wanted to be clear, I don't think that she was like a victim in the whole cult. I just think that toward the end, he started to take over for like a lot of the stuff more because he seems very much to be the one that's like, I'm the Jesus, right? Like, I don't think she's a victim in the cult. I think she's just like sort of second seat to him at some point in their relationship. I think it did flip flop a little bit.
Well, actually, she's at least publicly, really quick, I wanted to touch on this. Elizabeth Clare Prophet founded the Summit Lighthouse in 1958. This really started the New Age movement called Twin Flames.
Okay,
Interesting.
great.
Cool. And Kat says, can we all agree that we just need to complete ourselves? Fuck yeah, dude. Being a whole person onto our own is necessary to be in any successful relationship.
Agree.
100% sign off on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but she at least the one who says she calls it a fucking download. We have to do an episode sometime just about like loaded language in different groups that like nobody knows
I
what the
love
fuck
to do
you're
that.
Like, what are you talking about? Unless you're in
Yeah.
the group. So she's like, I got a pretty intense download, you guys. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Did God slide into your DMs, you dumb bitch? And she's like, and it's been prophesied to me, like literally from God, that Jeff is Jesus. She's the one who says that Jeff is Jesus. And he's like, you guys, I saw a picture of Jesus and then I saw a picture of me and I was like, obviously that's the same guy. And hi, I'm so sorry to disappoint any white people who are going to be upset by this, but Jesus was Middle Eastern. Like, he is not a white man,
It's
y'all.
not white. Yeah.
Just like,
He's not
He
like
is.
the Mormon picture of Jesus, which is like Marilyn's shade of hair and bright blue eyes.
Bright blue eyes. Yeah.
Pale skin
you guys-
Jesus. That's not actually Jesus.
That's like it's preference A17, I think, or something like that. My shade of hair.
Oh, well, Jesus was rocking the preference.
So
wait,
you want
in that Jesus.
Marilyn's color of hair, everybody.
Yes.
okay, hold on, you guys. I have to share my screen
Beautiful
really
shade
quick
of
because
hair.
I don't know if you've ever seen this Jesus, but this Jesus is how I like to party. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Korean Jesus, but
He's pretty stacked.
My.
he
Jesus
is
has a
buff
12
as hell. He's got like a 30 pack. What even is that?
Yeah.
Like, Korean
Jeez.
Jesus will fuck you up, you guys.
Yeah.
So
Did he carry that cross like every day for his entire
probably.
adulthood? Look at those thighs.
Look at those muscles. I mean,
Yeah.
that is definition. Okay, I'll take that down.
I just had to share that with you.
Well, like, okay. Woo!
Oh my god. Okay. Also, George says the hot
Oh,
dogs for
I know.
every meal weirded me out a little for people
Oh my
seeking a
God.
higher purpose, and we will
That-
get into that. It's called the divine dish.
That guy, he's like, I have never eaten a hot dog since then.
No, and like their meals on the divine dish looked like fast food. It was insane, but we'll get to that. So we've gone over what is a twin flame. What is twin flames universe? Peggy was kind of like talking about the difference between what is a twin flame and what is the cult. Fallon or Marilyn, do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Marilyn, do you want to go? Or you want me to?
Yeah, I just have, like just kind of one quick thought and then you can take it from there. But I was just thinking about how they acted as if they had some kind of divine, revelation or whatever. And they were like, it seemed like at first they were sort of able to pick like who they were sort of interested in. But then when it got into like Marley with the weird guy, that creepy like criminal that was messaging her and stuff, they were like channeling who they, felt like they were their twin flames and almost like tricking her into agreeing to it, and they wouldn't even
Yeah.
listen to
No,
her.
they were
So it was like this
they were so
mystical
manipulative.
thing surrounding- Yeah.
Mhm.
It was like a mystical thing surrounding it, acting as if, they were channeling some kind of special knowledge.
No, but that's what's so annoying too. Is like it was this like mystical thing, but then they would also be like, yeah, and God and blah blah blah, God.
I know.
And
It was annoying.
one of the women in the documentary said that, whoa, hold on, they fucking pulled the rug out from people. Get the fuck out of here. She said that when she first started, they weren't talking about God all the time. It wasn't, it wasn't all fucking super religious. And then
God is tax exempt.
God is tax exempt. Yeah. So they eventually
Is
start a
tax
church
exempt.
called, what's the church called, y'all?
Union.
Church of Union.
Church of Union.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he's so blatantly this, like, why was Elle, okay, this woman who like broke a restraining order, that's not chill, but she was put in jail for a month. I don't think these
Mhm.
motherfuckers have ever seen the inside of a jail, and what they're doing is a lot worse
Oh,
than
yeah.
accidentally breaking a restraining order, because she
Mhm.
said that she went dancing in this club and she didn't know the guy was going to be there. But it's just like the justice system like blows my mind. It makes me so angry. So he is on tape going, so you know what? I just like realized that if we make this a church, we don't have to pay taxes and then we don't have to pay people. We can just get everybody to volunteer. And I was like,
Mhm.
how are you on film saying this? And like,
I
and
know.
getting away with it.
And,
Yeah.
and like
Getting away with
in your mansion, which also is like so weird to me because it's like you know it's this like new age shit, but then they're not fully. I mean, I feel like they're kind of preaching the prosperity gospel in a way because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, God we're so rich. And it is so annoying. He goes, yeah, that's a 75-inch flat screen. I could buy one of those once a week. I was like, yeah, but why the fuck would you? Like, shut up. Meanwhile, everybody else is like living, you know, working for free and stuff. And these people are
Yeah.
just like living lavishly and constantly bragging about it.
Oh my God, constantly.
It's
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys bingo?
No.
I was like, are you playing bingo again? I
No.
just thought you said bingo.
Yeah, bingo.
I was just gonna jump in, but that's
Oh yeah, go. No, go.
No, I was gonna say to connect that back to like what is the Twin Flames universe? That's their overarching sort of their movement. It's their whole system. I see that as like the umbrella over the company that is like sort of the MLME weird company that goes into all his other companies. It's their method for making their money. It's their method for bringing people into a central idea. Because you can't just have people be like, I'm in an idea. Like you have to have a group, and certainly a universe is a nice big place to collect all your people into. So the Twin Flames universe is these two particular people's idea of what a twin flame is, and then all of this extra branched out crap that they've put with it as like their religious / spiritual / whatever movement together. And that's what allows them to, you know, have their giant house and make all their money. He says at the beginning of the Netflix doc, it's like the second thing you hear him say is he says, this is a Porsche, I don't know cars, so it could be a Mazda. I wouldn't even know the difference, but this is a Porsche,
This is a
something
fancy car.
this is a fancy Datsun. I don't know. But like you can warm it up before you get in it and you can cool it off before you get in it. And I didn't buy this from making a bunch of money doing sales. I did this because of sharing the love that me and my wife have with other people or something. So they very much like they very much connect all their money to being in love via the twin flame, you know, idea.
Right.
Right. And also it's, you know, they orchestrate keeping people in relationships because nobody's having success in the group. Like stalking married people weirdly isn't leading people into harmonious union. It's really weird, but they're ending up in jail and being coerced into gender changes because it's like, okay, so nobody's actually nobody's found like a soulmate yet. This is not gonna look good pretty soon. So then Jeff has a divine download. God slid into his DMs and let him know, listen, like about half of the group needs to become men. And he goes, look, if you have divine masculine energy, you're a dude. It's just like, it is mind blowing. Like, what a fucking troll this little allegedly. We haven't said any allegedly yet.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is that's something I think like every cult leader you read about does when they foresee, especially the doomsday cults, right? They foresee doomsday is going to be next Thursday, and then it doesn't happen, and it's like, well, it didn't happen because we prayed so hard, right? You guys did a good job, but it's gonna happen 3 Thursdays from now if you don't keep giving me money and listening to my lectures. So because he's got them all in this like cult thrall, he can be like, well, the reason you haven't found your twin flame isn't because I didn't predict it right. It's because you haven't done your personal work, right?
Yeah.
You haven't done the work to find your twin flame.
Yep.
It's not
Yep.
because I'm a failure. It's because you guys aren't in the system enough, which is what
Yeah.
every MLM also says too.
Yes.
You guys in AA, they
work.
say in AA, they say it works if you work it, implying that if you're not working it, it does not work. You guys, AA keeps fucking like creeping into my mind, like just constantly, like the little tendrils being like, what about this? And I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
It's so much. So yeah, Jeff and Shalia, a little bit of just background, like we were talking about. They were both just kind of like hippy dippy, free spirited, whatever. Shalia was very into the new age twin flame stuff. Jeff was like went on a spiritual journey and moved to Hawaii. Hey, fucking cult leaders, can you stop moving to Hawaii? It's so annoying. Leave them alone. Like let the Hawaiian people and the people who live on the Hawaiian Islands live in peace. The fucking Buddha Field dude went there.
Yeah, Buddha Field.
Mhm.
I think Amy Carlson from Love Has Won. I think they went there for a while. Everybody keeps like fucking over to Hawaii. Stop it. So he goes to
we've screwed
Hawaii.
them
He's
over
like,
enough.
I think that I should probably like, I'm really good cult leader material. And then they get together and she's like, you're my twin flame. And he's like, that actually sounds perfect. And like Fallon was saying,
I'm sorry.
sorry. As Fallon was saying, like they fucking have franchised their love into so many little businesses. There's the Divine Dish, where all you have to do is pay for the ingredients and cook for yourself.
I actually am subscribed to a meal plan like that as well because it's called the grocery store. And I go to this place and I buy all my own ingredients and then I cook it for myself. And it's just, it's incredible how many options they have.
Do you
Wait, but
feel
actually,
divine afterwards?
I am absolutely divine.
I do like HelloFresh. I will say that's one of our sponsors, and I do really like HelloFresh. I did a time lapse of me cooking last night, but I'm in my sweatpants and my hair looks awful, so I'm just like, I don't know, thinking about whether or not I'm gonna.
But that's kind of what
Put that
HelloFresh
up
is
or-
for.
It kind of is
Right?
actually, yeah. So, but they do actually send you the food. So with the Divine Dish, they send you to the grocery store with a list, and then you just have to
buy
go.
what a 12-year-old would buy, like
Right.
ramen
Hot
noodle
dogs.
looking
Ramen
shit
noodles
and
and
hot
hot dogs.
dogs and
It's like
yeah,
hot dogs and
grilled cheese and
wavy
shit.
wavy chips and little pickles and
Yeah.
so one of the women gained
70 pounds.
70 pounds in 9 months because they
70
also
Eating
said that
processed
the
food?
cult
What?
leader.
You have
Yeah,
to eat it
what?
all. Like a little kid. Clean your plate. You have to eat every
Okay,
little
you guys,
bite.
I eat hot dogs and Kraft mac and cheese though.
I
You
do
know what?
too.
Live
but
your
I don't
life. Who
do it as
cares?
much of a-
I literally eat like a 12-year-old, y'all.
But you know
So
what?
do-
You're
so
not
do I,
doing it
but-
claiming you're going to ascend to a
Right.
spiritual plane.
Not a
There's a
Oh
big
no.
difference.
Oh no. My
Yeah.
spiritual plane is something else.
my spiritual plane, I'm gonna get there via Oscar Mayer Wiener. Are you fucking kidding me, Jeff? Go fuck yourself.
I mean,
Um,
some people do.
Also, like we touched on,
No judgments.
you know, the like what, you know, one of the women touches on the fact that her I don't want to name the incorrect names. So they were kind of like one of the posts. There was a couple kind of poster couples that they were like, look, you guys better act happy as fuck in front of everybody all the time. And like, so they'd be like, yeah, I'm just like so happy that I'm with my twin flame. Like this girl's actually crying while she's saying
Yeah,
it. And it seems
Marley-
like, oh,
yeah,
she's so
Marley.
emotional.
Marley and
Oh.
Joshua, she was like basically being forced. It was like a arranged marriage, and she looked so scared and upset. And then the other ones, Keely and Colby or whatever, were like kind of over them, and they basically. I'm sorry, but I don't want to jump ahead. But by the end, like when there was that kind of reunion and people were forgiving Keely, I was still mad. I was still pissed.
Yeah,
at
I
her,
was pretty mad
honestly.
at Keely.
I was so.
I was
pissed.
gonna message you
Yeah.
guys last night and be like, I hate Keely.
Me too. I was gonna.
You guys, no. Wait, the
We'll get there.
the girl who was super victimized.
No,
no, the one
that was-
no.
The one that was being used to victimize everyone else
Yeah,
with the curly red hair,
curly
Keely.
hair.
Yeah, no, we don't hate Keely. She was a victim of.
I just said I
Jeff
was
and
mad
Sheila.
at her, but
We're
why-
okay. Okay,
did
fine. We can
you-
all have our opinions. I'm not mad at anybody in the group because Jeff and Shalice are Shalia, which fuck you cockadoodle do bitch. Like I was gonna say the see you next Tuesday word, but I don't know about YouTube. Like that is my name. She just mixed it around. So Shalia,
Ashley.
Ashley. I mean,
Love
come
it
on.
said, I feel sorry. Love it
Mm.
said, I feel sorry for Keely. I did towards the end because she did seem really sorry, but I was really mad at her up until the
Yeah.
end.
Yanya did say, and Yanya Lalik, she said
we
to
love.
her when she met with her, and then I softened a little bit. She said
Yeah.
that, you know, this is like a moral, we all become perpetrators of abuse when we're in cults. And she said, like, I did it
Yeah.
when I was in a cult, and people do it
I
when
did
they're in cults
too.
because that's
Yeah.
what you think you're supposed to do. And even like people
Mhm.
in MLMs go out and sell it to other people, even though they know they're broke trying to do it.
Mhm.
So I think I like softened up a little there, but for a while I was like, come on, like you are telling people they have to change their genders and stuff. I don't
Right.
think that I think she was a victim overall, but for a while I was kind of
She
like,
had been
really,
in
girl?
she had been in a long time, and
That's
you know, I
true. Yeah.
understand that too. The indoctrination even took me 2
Yeah.
years to leave after they started victimizing my kids in my cult. But
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
still was mad because I just was, mad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no,
she
it's
did seem sorry. I'm just mad at the cult too.
No, for sure. Dr. Yanya Lalik is featured a few times in the documentary, and what Fallon described is called moral injury. When you
Mhm.
leave a
Right.
cult, you don't only have to deal with what was done to you and how you're traumatized, but you also have to deal with the fact that often most people you did become a perpetrator because you're in a situation of what Dr. Yanya Lalik calls bounded choice, where you have to go with the norms and the thinking of the behavior of the group, or you
Mhm.
risk going to hell, not having your fucking counterpart, like drifting through the universe alone or being shunned from the group or whatever. Somebody said, God, Ash's passion with swears is making me want to say fuck. Creepy B5, fuck it. Say fuck all day. It feels so fucking good. You guys know if there's ever been an all woman cult?
I don't know.
I feel
I'm on it. Hold on.
there's
I thought that was really interesting
had
question.
to
Yeah,
been.
we need to know. Inquiring minds need to know.
Yeah,
Mine
if
was
anybody
mostly
Fallon's
knows.
gonna look it
women.
up.
This one
Fallon?
was a lot of women. I think there's a lot that has majority
Oh my gosh,
of
so
women.
many women.
Question,
Mhm.
Ash. So, if someone is a polygamist, did anyone start the triple flame or quad flame? If not, I apologize in advance if I gave any cult leaders the idea. I haven't heard of it, so
if Jeff is watching this, no, this is not a good idea.
No.
you might have just Ash. AA also says that addiction is a genetic disease. Not correct. It can be epigenetic, but it's not genetic, unchangeable. Interesting. Love it. I'd love to hear more about that. I always thought that it is a genetic disease that can kind of like any other kind of like maybe mental issue or something like pop up or not. I've always actually thought that it was kind of a combination of nature and nurture though. So I'd love to hear more about what. So does epigenetic mean that it's genetic but changeable? Let
I
us
think
know.
epigenetic is what you just said, which is like you are prone to it, but you don't have to get it, right? It's not like my mom had brown eyes, so I have brown eyes. It's like, and I can't change that. It's, you know, if my mom was an addict or my mom had addiction issues, I am likely to have addiction issues, but like you said, nurture might be that I don't, right? I
Mhm.
can change, we can change that outcome.
Right.
But there was an all-female cult. I found one.
Polygamy
right.
flame? Wait.
This-
Happy Puffin asked
Sorry.
if polygamy fame exists.
Sorry, Fallon.
Flame.
I think Linda said Mary Kay. That's an all woman cult.
Mary Kay.
An all-woman cult, yep.
Well, and Pure Romance, the MLM, you could not have males at parties. Well, at least when I was doing it, you couldn't have males at parties. It was all female ambassadors, all female party members, and they would say for safety, you had to make all the men leave the room. And it was a very super heteronormative man-woman relationship, like sponsoring type MLM. They might have changed. But I did find one from Canada that in the early 90s was a drug-addled, alien goddess worshipping all-female cult called New Eden.
Oh.
So maybe that's one to look into
We
later.
Should
Yeah.
Let's
we
talk
need to.
about
Sure.
that.
Yeah, I'm
What
marking
the
it down
fuck?
now. Yeah.
New Eden.
That sounds fun. So like I wanted to touch on kind of a little bit how they're conflating really kind of biblical and religious stuff, and then these very new age ideas, like the whole one of the women said that she felt that her partner felt entitled to her body whenever, because Jeff and Shalia explicitly say that men need sex every day. And that kind of submission and rape culture is very prevalent in fundamentalist Christianity and more extreme sects. And then, with the new age stuff, they start going heavy on like divine feminine and divine masculine. And we've been told who here is divine feminine and who's divine masculine. And this is when like the gender and sexual orientation coercion comes in, because all of a sudden they're like, yeah, so now you're a man and you're attracted to women. Like, what a mind fuck is that?
Well, and I love what the professor that they had on the Netflix doc said. He said, they are not aligning themselves with being trans allies. They're actually aligning themselves with anti-trans movements, because what they're saying is not, this is what you're born as. Maybe you were born as a man and you do need to transition. Like, they're not saying that. They're very much taking it back to like, there's a choice, and the choice can be made by another person that is not you, which is 100% not true. And so they're actually like setting that movement back so many years, right? Because they're saying, well, I can dictate that I think you're a man, even if you don't think you're a man. And you have to go about making yourself into what I've decided you're going to be, which is
and in some cases they really mess with people's minds and lives. Like Angie, she was one of the last to leave from that was featured in the Netflix documentary. But first she was supposed to be divinely female. And then when they ran out of females to match people with, or males, when they ran out of males, all of a sudden she had to become a male because she was matched with a divine female. So she cut her hair off and all that, and had to switch partners because the guy was just like, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. So then she got matched with, I forgot what her name was, Gloria or something. But yeah, so all of a sudden it was like, can you imagine being like, you're looking at this guru and he tells you you're female, then all of a sudden you're male. And then all of a sudden, that's not your twin flame. This is. And then
flip flop, flip flop.
Yeah,
mind fuck.
I can't. I know. I can't even imagine. I mean, that's gonna take years and years. I mean, probably even her whole lifetime of trying to sort that shit all out.
Bummer. Not my Michael said they messed up. New Eden is fake. I'm sad.
Fallon's on it. Fallon is our research
witness
expert.
Witness says there are many genetic predispositions that don't express unless they are triggered by the environment. And a person with alcoholism gene will not seek alcohol if they have never had it before.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Pup Groomer said, I've been told genetic predisposition, but not guaranteed like diabetes. That was the example given to me. Yeah, that makes sense. I think those things make sense. Oh my God, their baby was the triplet flame.
My God.
Great. Oh my God. And like you guys, they were collecting money. Yeah. They were collecting this money for this baby that was apparently, I don't think there ever was a fucking baby. Do you guys think there was? I don't think there was a baby.
At the end, they said the baby was born. At the end of the
baby now.
There's a baby
now. But
no, I know, but I think at the time when they were getting fucking like Gucci baby suits sent to them and
decided not to come. Yeah, she decided not to come.
Grace decided not to enter the world at that point. Also, it's kind of interesting. because, you know, if you want to, very MLM like, if you want to stay a part of, you know, if you want to keep being in a leadership position or mentor or whatever, you have to keep paying to take all of the classes and you have to stay up to date on all that shit. And then they have this workshop that's called Finding Your Life's Purpose, because they say, you know, if you follow your passion in life, that will lead you to finding your soulmate. And they're like, and it's funny because we realize that all of your purpose is to work for us for free. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh,
I love it
how
when
convenient.
It was
I
like
love
the
it
Sea
when-
Org. Yeah.
right? When there's like divinely inspired work assignments, like when they talk about, and they were talking about the IBLP, like there's 2 types of people, and magically it's revealed that all women are mercy givers and like helpers for other people and not leaders. Like, wow, it's amazing how that all works
Yeah,
out.
I had that calling. I was a helpmeet and you know, I crocheted blankets to keep people warm, and I you know, took ammonia water and washed floors and stuff because I was a servant and a helpmeet. But yeah, I wasn't allowed to be, you know, a singer or an artist or anything because that wasn't my divine calling.
Marlene had to keep you down. Marlene Sweeney, by the way. We haven't said her name yet.
Yes, you know how I love to say her name. Yep.
She had to keep you down because she knew if she gave you anything, even an inch, you and your sassiness.
IVF.
Yeah,
I don't
You
know.
guys,
Yep.
Did
Love
they
It says
abort
they
the
did
baby?
IVF in order to make the baby girl, then aborted her, and then had a baby later.
Did they abort her? Because she was saying in the video that she had an ectopic pregnancy, which
well,
isn't
then
abortion.
but you
I don't
do
trust anything they
you
say,
do
though.
you do abort
But then he
ectopic
said
pregnancies, don't you?
You do, but I mean, I think
yes.
it's
Yeah.
important to say that it's like
There's a
that it's not
there's a
it,
difference.
there's a difference, like what you're
Yeah.
choosing to do. An abort,
I get
like
what you're
an
saying.
ectopic pregnancy. I'm not anti-abortion at all, but an ectopic pregnancy cannot survive to, you
Right.
know,
Mhm.
like, and it can
Okay.
kill the mom. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was really.
Sorry,
You could
just
tell she was sad.
right back to and then we'll stop talking about AA and genetic predisposition. But Levitt says AA as a cult would not have survived if not for them perpetrating the myth of the gene that has never been proven. Ah! Oh my God, that makes me emotional because it just makes me think like I mean I'm guessing that I fucking learned in AA that it was a genetic disease. Like
Probably.
what the
Mhm.
fuck? So crazy. Okay. Alicia also said the cult of Bacchus was an all-female cult that was shrouded in secrecy. The first versions of the cult were only open to women who had been initiated. The cult was part of the Roman religions.
Okay.
Take note of that, guys. That sounds
Mm.
interesting.
I know.
And then you know, something I wanted to talk about that's really scary is so they do this exercise called mirroring, which is very common in groups. Dr. Yanya Lalick says that you know, it's very common for groups to do these kind of like introspective exercises because it not only breaks down the self, but it separates you from the like the people in your life and brings you just more into the fold of the cult. Like Shalise is like she says it so just like, oh, whatever, you know, she's like, look, you guys, I'm not trying to like tell you to get rid of all your friends and family or anything like that. But it's just like, if people aren't supporting your goals, you know, like you probably just don't want to be around those people because they're like energetic blocks. And now we're going back from like the Bible to the New Age. Like, oh my God.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's like I'm always gonna be your like MLM corner over here because that's something that's a big one in Amway too, is like the person is a negative, like with a capital N. So if they're blocking what you're doing in your business or you don't believe in the system, you're negative. And maybe I'm not going to tell you have to write your parents out of your life, but if they're not going to buy your soap and shampoo, then maybe you just need to like maybe they're negatives, you know.
Okay, if you guys have not watched On Becoming a God in Central Florida,
Oh my God. Yes. I love
you
that.
It is so good, you guys. It's Kirsten Dunst. It's set in the 80s. It's 1000% about Amway, but they call it
totally
FAM.
is.
Oh,
And anybody who's a negative in this version of Amway is that
Sustained.
they're a stinker thinker.
Wait, Fallon, you haven't seen Becoming a God in Central
No,
Florida?
she's so annoying.
We've
She
gotta,
doesn't
like,
watch my
binge watch-
recommendation.
What,
Do
what's
you
that
hear how
called?
you talk to me?
I haven't
Have you
either.
seen, like,
It's like-
what's that called? Your watch party? Oh my God, I want to see
Oh,
your
yeah.
face.
We
Gotta
should
see it.
figure
You're
out.
on Amway.
No, Fallon, you will freak out. And like,
I
it's
wanna-
so funny to watch the products that they make you
So
sell because
good.
it's like it
It's
is
so
like soap and detergent. It's like how are you making this sexy?
I know. I mean, I'm probably gonna watch it and just be like have to take a hot shower and cry
But
for
there's,
3
like,
days.
there's, like,
I
all
don't
these
want to see
weird, like,
that.
there's like death and murder and craziness. Like, it's really entertaining, right? There's all these
Okay.
like twists and crazy
I didn't
shit
want to
that happens.
subscribe
It's so
to
good.
another cable system to watch one show.
No, just
so
Look, I'm not gonna say what I was just gonna say. I'm gonna shut my mouth, but hit me up later for hot tips. You know? Happy Puffin asked, "Who is this Marlene?"
Oh, well, she was she's my ex-cult leader, and she's 85 years old and lives up the road in
She's a
a house
bitch.
in a house that we helped to buy. And yeah, she's waiting for the end times and still waiting. And she was evil. And if you I've got several accounts of her out there flying around. There's an interview I did with Kelly Copter, with Poe and the Go, and Doug recently, and also, as Peggy mentioned, Roberta Blevin's podcast. So if you want to know who Marlene
Life after
is in depth,
MLM.
yes,
Mhm.
life after MLM. So that's Marlene, and we drink to that. If I was on my StreamYard, I'd put up the whole thing about
We take a drink. Yep.
cheers. Yes, because she earned it. So I like to say her name any chance I get, because she thinks she's hiding in the woods in Vermont and no one's ever heard of her.
My coffee is
So
very cold.
fuck off,
Mine is too.
Marlene.
Oh,
I was like,
have
oh, that
heard
was a
of
bad choice.
her.
I was just really
Um,
holding mine up for the promotional non
Yes.
Thank
Remind
you,
me
Fallon.
about the giveaway.
Isn't
Remind
that
me
a
about the
sexy
giveaway.
mug?
It is
It's
very
the
cool.
non-edited
Yes,
one.
we will.
It's very schmexy.
Stay tuned, you guys.
Yes.
So one
Anyway, the
exercise that they do a lot, is called mirroring.
Mirroring.
And this is essentially so in AA they would say, well, what was your part in that? And it's like, okay, well, you got so you were abused as a child. What's your part in that? And I'm like, I don't know. And she was like, my sponsor, well, I would say that it's you're a 30-something-year-old woman and you're still hanging on to that resentment. And I was like, okay, but I'm very curious as if I was still in AA when I had my sexual assaults, because I'm very fucking curious what my part in that would have been. And, you know, in Scientology, they say, how did you pull that in? What else? You guys were giving me some more examples earlier of how they victim blame and put it on you. In other words,
Yeah, in mine it was you know, what have you done? Like, what hidden idols do you have in your tent? Under your tent? We didn't live in tents, guys, but everything was like biblical, you know?
metaphors.
So right. So I was always accused of having a spirit of Achan, which is guy that so the Israelites were losing a battle, and it's like, why is everything going wrong? There's somebody must have sin in the camp, right? So this guy,
It was Marilyn.
yeah, took the idols, you know, I guess my crochet hook was my idol, and my kids were my idol and stuff. So I had a spirit of Achan. So then all of a sudden it has you looking within. All of a sudden the enemy is within and in the world, the worldly people, but not the cult leader. So if you can if they can get you, you know, turning on yourself and stopping your own thoughts and policing yourself, they've got you, you know?
Yep.
Wow.
Miss Sunrise Dawn says, little does Marlene know, pretty much all of SPTV Nation knows who her evil self is. Anybody
I
who's
love it.
not familiar with SPTV, that's Suppressive Persons TV. That's the kind of anti-Scientology network. I've done a lot of work with Apostate Alex. That was really cool. That's basically how I kind of got myself into this world and I met Marilyn through Peggy technically, but
Yes.
yeah, so SPTV is awesome. They do mostly talk about Scientology, but they definitely gave me the and Marilyn, I was like, oh, you can go live and talk about stuff. Like, you don't have to become a video editor to do YouTube. And I was very excited about that. And now here we are. How fun.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that weren't never in Scientology, thousands of people that watch, like, Aaron Smith Levin and all the OGs, I call them, Mike Rinder, but I could really relate. And I've said this a million times, that the language wasn't triggering for me, and it really helped me to, decompress, deconstruct, deprogram, all the D's. So yeah.
Decompose. Yeah, I don't know. All those.
Decompose.
A Cat says another thing that AA does is talk about Cat, I feel like we might have some AA experience in common. Our character defects that cause our problems, including our addiction. Yeah, that's very true.
That's like the mirroring thing for sure.
Yeah. Mena had 666 working through them, and that caused all the problems in the group that they were in.
Whoa, that's rough. 666 is the number of the beast.
That's yeah.
If you miss the rapture, you got to get that in your hand or forehead, or you get your head chopped off. But then you go to heaven. But if 666, you're going to hell. Sorry,
Wow.
man.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
no good. 777. You won at the slot machine, I think, right?
or you're in a really
number of completion.
Or you're in a really giant airplane, right? Because they do have 777s. Which, funny enough, in Japan,
Boeing?
Well, in Japan, when I lived in Japan, I used to take 777s all the time. But in Japanese, it's called a nana because that's 777.
That's so fun.
Yeah,
I'm just going on the nana.
Yeah. And they say like a million times when they're doing their flight safety brief. So I was used to just sit there laughing, and I'm sure they thought I was just hammered. I was not, but I was laughing at their
Fallon, you are so drunk all the time. It's so hectic.
You and me both, man.
I'm totally kidding, you guys.
Ones.
Yeah. Me and Fallon are never really drunk, actually.
She's rolling up to the Navy every day. Yo, I'm so drunk, y'all.
Yeah. Then they kind of step up the mirroring, and then they introduce mapping, which is the mind alignment process, which is very much like fucking Teal Swan, that bitch. You know how she just takes she took the shadow work. Right. Same fucking shit. Yeah. So like what they love to do with this kind of like breaking into your mind. Also, this is really fun. A woman named Christy is the one who was coming in to be the map practitioner. Also, this was like a clinical run or something. So like, first of all, experimental. Second of all, very they said it's for people who have been diagnosed with trauma. That's terrifying. You're supposed to go to the root and pull it out. This is so funny because that's fucking EMDR, but EMDR is psychological science. And I do it and it's awesome. This is some fucking bullshit.
And they did like, repressed memory, false memory, all the stuff that Teal Swan did. Yeah. And I think it was Elle, all of a sudden got her to hate her family because they were trying to, convince her that she'd been abused and SA'd as a child when she had no memory of it. So it was another way to keep her away. And then they victimized, they went in. Yeah, and then they went into fibromyalgia groups. I've been in those because I have fibromyalgia. I had to leave because so many people were just so broken. It wasn't healthy for me to stay in those groups. But my heart just, oh my God. So when I heard that too, I was really burned my biscuits too.
I'll tell you what.
Oh my God, you are so fucking cute. That burned your biscuits.
Burned my biscuits. I want to use that now. I learned so many good expressions from my podcaster and YouTube friends now. The fact that this lady was high-ranking military, like my husband and I are military / former military, and we were my husband like got sucked into watching this with me and was like, I hope this woman gets relieved of command. Like, I hope she gets kicked out because
Right.
she advertises
Yep.
that her credits are being in the military, but not ever having PTSD. And I'll tell you, I was in the military, I was in dangerous places, but you're not always, just because you're in the military doesn't mean you're always in a position to get PTSD. And
Mhm.
I feel like she was using her, I don't know what her combat background is, but I felt like she was using her military status as like a selling point. Like, she's making this
credibility,
connection that like every veteran has PTSD, and that is not the case. You
No.
can have had a hard
Mm-mm.
career and not have that come out of
Mhm.
it if you weren't in the right situation. And the other thing it does is undercuts everybody else that has PTSD,
That has
that
it.
like
Yep,
legitimately has
absolutely.
PTSD.
It goes very
Mhm,
back to the like 50s mentality of like only war vets get shell shock, like because that's what they used to call it. It was shell shock.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
that was what people thought, that it was only war vets who got shell shock, which is now PTSD.
Well, and when I got
It's
out
like-
of the military, they like tested me they do physicals to check if you have a disability. And I've struggled with some mental health things, but they were like, oh, you're here because you have PTSD. And I was like, but I don't have PTSD. I have anxiety, and that's very different than PTSD. Like, there are people that legitimately have it, but I felt like her creds were like making it sound like she mind whammied herself into not having PTSD. And that's why you can do it to other people and be this like professional. Right. Exactly. Yes.
From a poet, Brian
Great
just
point.
said, I'm a
Yep.
veteran and my PTSD stems from my chaotic childhood.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have complex PTSD and I've never been in the military at all. Like, those are not.
Exactly. I just hated her putting that together like this, because it says, because she's a former vet who does not have PTSD. Like, it just it made me so mad.
I know.
Well,
Yeah.
and what I hated is that, like, well, there was another woman in the group who stated that in the military, you're trained not to really question higher ranking officers.
Oh,
And
yes.
even if you don't have any military background, it's been proven over and over and over again through scientific studies that when somebody in a position of authority tells you something, especially if you're already vulnerable and primed to like believe that person, if it's a fucking doctor, they've put people in a room with a fucking dude with a clipboard and a white coat and been like, this is a doctor. He's going to tell you how much electric shock you can administer to people before you'll murder them. And they're just like, more? Okay.
Yeah.
More?
Yeah.
Like, so people will, the way that they respond to somebody in authority is like with so much more submission. So I thought that was like such fucking bullshit that he was using the military too, because like that's just
Yeah.
another way to control the
Mhm.
situation and,
Yeah.
fear and manipulation tactics.
And
Right.
and in the
Mhm.
military, you don't just get, if you're a medical military professional, you don't just get to make up your own medical treatment and start giving it to people. It's not like in the movies where just, once you get to a high enough rank, you get to make up your own shit and do it.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
you work with and for people. Peggy is military
You
connected as
still
well.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. My husband's been in the military for almost 30 years. And my son is a medic in the Army. And yeah, for sure. You still have a protocol no matter what. Always have to follow protocol.
Yeah. That lady.
Oh, well, she's like, so I know like all these people at the Pentagon and stuff. So the other day I was like, oh, hey, Officer Shimanabe, the guy who's like in charge of getting grants for medical military shit, just like, hey, and
Name
So,
dropping in the military pisses me off beyond belief. Like, I can name drop. You want me to name drop? I can name drop.
Name dropping everywhere pisses me
Everywhere.
off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
what's
that
what's
piece
funny
of
too is I'd be
Oh,
like,
God.
yeah, I don't know any of those people.
I know.
I wouldn't
You're
if you
like,
tried to
"Oh,
name drop to me. I'd be like,
so I
cool,
don't fucking
bro.
care.
Oh, you know Colonel Sanders?
But she very quickly evolved from a role of that small thing to what I think bothered me was, they did another culty thing. Like, they put somebody in a high position of power. She had one small specialty, perhaps, which was this process training or this map processor, whatever.
Specialty.
Yeah. And then they whatever. And then they made her part of like their core team in all other decisions. Like later they're talking about, I think either Elle or Angie, and basically saying like, yeah, we've worked with her already, and I don't think she's progressing forward, and she's like helping make decisions about everything just because she happens to be a leadership person. But like, what makes her uniquely qualified? To me, that was just more example of like culty behavior.
Literally nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No qualifications.
Yep.
You guys, I do want to go to a few comments from the beginning that were that we missed that were really good. Jennifer Hachia from Ego Next Door said they try to separate families by inserting fake memories of childhood trauma in the Twin Flames universe members. That is very true in this mapping process.
That's true.
This woman named Elle, oh no, are you no shit, they found childhood sexual abuse. Like that is so often what comes up in like recovered memories or whatever.
Mhm.
So then she's like, she does like start getting away from her family. She's like, oh, you guys abused me. And that's definitely a very common tactic. April said, like any typical narcissist, Jeff introduced himself to the public in the beginning as a very sweet and demure individual. The mask came off once Jeff and Shalia started making money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
At the beginning,
typical.
he's like, oh, she told me she was going to do a tarot reading for me, and I was totally sold. Like, how amazing and novel this is.
Oh, also he says, yeah, she texted me and said, what are you up to? And I said, busy with the 9 million other women that are pursuing me. 9 million, Jeff.
And don't they read from the
Please.
book where he's like, this was not typical in my normal babe hunting behavior. or
Yeah,
something like
in my 28 years of babe hunting.
Oh my god.
Also-
if he ever said babe hunting to me, I would get the boot right out the fucking door.
Speaking of babe hunting and the delicious dish, coming back to that, isn't there also like an old SNL segment called The Delicious Dish? Wait, this is called The Divine Dish.
The delicious dish. The delicious dish is the one with the 2 radio girls who are like
with the
talking
sweaty
like this.
balls.
Sweaty.
Oh my god. Okay, so they made The Divine Dish. That is so
Yeah.
funny though. What
Divine
idiots.
dish.
And he goes, yeah, I was worried that if Shalia, if she got like heavier or uglier while we were together, that I would like become unattracted to her. But actually the heavier she's gotten, the more attracted I've gotten to her. And I also thought that's some fucking control shit.
Mm-hmm.
That is control. Like
Yeah.
he's like, okay, you know what? Like if I have her like in a position where like, and he's getting everybody, he's like, you have to eat all your food, and it's carbs and it's hot dogs, and everybody's gaining like 70, 80 pounds. And like, and the more fucking control you have over people, over their diet, and then if you're controlling people's diet, that's also going to be controlling how they're fucking physically feeling, which is going to control how they're mentally feeling. Look, I know, because I'm like Peggy, and I'm a fucking trash panda, and I eat garbage all day, and that's probably why I don't feel good a lot of the time.
And I feel like shit all day.
Running on coffee.
His comment to her too is a super what they do in, I was in sort of a mentally abusive situation, and the underhanded compliment is a great control technique, because you sort of give somebody that, little self-esteem boost while also letting them know that like you aren't at your best and they could go elsewhere. When he says like, I thought that now that she's gained weight, and she has gained weight since we've been together, that I wouldn't find her attractive, but I still do. Like, he's clearly saying like, this is a condition under which you are not attractive to people, but I find you attractive. And I used to hear that all the time in that situation in my life, which is like, oh, well, you definitely are starting to, look skinnier than you used to, like knowing that that's a trigger point. Yeah, exactly. Right. So underhanded compliments. Hey, you actually look pretty today. Or like it's a great control technique because they're letting you know that they're accepting you conditionally for what you are, but what you are is actually not acceptable. So you start to think,
And
well,
you don't
if I
usually
leave
look
this,
pretty.
right, and you start to think, God, I'm so lucky this person accepts this, because if I left this person, I wouldn't be accepted outside, because obviously my self is unacceptable.
I'm
Right.
sorry, Fallon.
That's okay. I mean, I'm pretty
I know.
divorced from it now. I can just
I
clinically
know.
talk
I
about
just-
it, but it's
I just
so
hate
real.
that.
Philosophy said ego next door. That's so true.
Ooh.
PTSD is real and it's not just a regular trauma response. My dad developed it after 40 years as a psychiatric nurse.
I cannot imagine
Oh,
what he has
yeah.
seen and
The things
been
you would
through.
see.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Wow. And
Wow.
actually, I have talked about complex trauma a few times, you guys. So, complex trauma is CPTSD, and it's when, like, PTSD will usually occur from, like a car accident or seeing your comrade die. And is that like a Nazi word? Or is
No, I'm just
No.
laughing
is
at the
that-
cat.
It's
Okay.
no,
Okay.
it's a
You
Russian,
can say that, right?
It's a Russian word.
Okay. So like, or seeing your comrades die in battle or something. And then complex trauma will generally develop after somebody has had like a life of trauma after trauma after trauma. Then it becomes complex, and then it's a little bit different. So
Yeah.
actually,
And
if
that's what
anybody's
I'm guessing that
interested.
this father here probably is dealing with. If he's gone
Yeah.
through,
I mean, I don't want to
intense-
diagnose anybody. I'm not a
No,
mental health professional.
No, but
Yeah,
I
but-
mean, if he's gone through intense shit day after day, you know.
Day after, yeah, I could definitely see that manifesting pretty hardcore. And the last thing, and then let me know if you guys feel like I missed anything, but I did find this from sentientcounseling.co.uk. It's a term called DARVO, and it's a relationship or an environment with a narcissistic person. Narcissistic, I'm just sort of paraphrasing this. Narcissistic people often use DARVO in their relationships to control and coerce others. It stands for deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. And it was first coined in the 1990s by psychologist Jennifer Freyd. And it refers to a form of manipulation aimed at shifting the focus away from wrongdoing to avoid any consequences and attacking the victim in ways that allows them to switch roles. So the aggressor becomes the victim and the victim becomes the aggressor. And this is like so fucking classic what Jeff and Shalia are doing to their followers.
Right.
Like every time, like they're constantly convincing them that like they're in the wrong and that they're manifesting or whatever these things that are coming into their life that are negative. And if you went to jail, that's because you're a psycho who was stalking your person, even though we totally encourage you to do that.
The DARVO thing is definitely a really quick turn way to take somebody confronting you about your bad behavior and leave them apologizing for your bad behavior in confronting them. Like the one thing that I saw that was a big example of this was when she was pregnant, and in the Netflix doc, they talk about how people around the time she was pregnant had started to kind of question things a little bit, and they weren't doing exactly what they wanted them to do. So when they got confronted or when they got asked questions, he came out and was like, you guys are killing her. You're killing the baby. And then like a couple weeks later, they came out with the whole, this is an ectopic pregnancy. And everyone was like, we're so sorry. We'll do exactly what you want, because they were perfectly valid in coming to them, and they reversed themselves. They made themselves a victim of the person's statement. I've been through this one a lot of times too, so I totally recognize it. But that was a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Role reversal.
That is, yeah,
disgusting. It's just disgusting. And then all of these people are sitting there blaming themselves for the loss of a baby now. And
no, or Fallon, you said earlier, they'll be like, oh, well, the end days didn't come because you guys prayed so good or whatever. Then I feel like almost maybe an even more common tactic is, well, the fucking end days didn't come where we all get sucked up into heaven because you guys fucking suck. You didn't pray hard
Right.
enough, you
Yep.
fucking losers. You have
Yep.
to pray harder. It's not my fault, even though the end of days has never come for centuries of us talking about it. Like, it's you guys. You made us not all get to go to heaven. I know that what's his fucking face? David Koresh was pulling a lot of that with
Yep.
the victims at Waco. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
well, you know, like you guys aren't following the rules good enough. And that's why we're not all like in heaven yet.
I'm sure that comes at the end of a deconstruction of a cult. Like, Marilyn, I don't know if you can empathize with this at all, but
Absolutely.
yeah, like when people start to question things and it starts to crumble, then the leadership can be like, oh, it's crumbling, not because I'm doing things wrong, but because you're questioning it. And it's a good, like, last minute way to scoop people back up if you still have a sway over them.
There's a
Right.
whole bunch of things that happen. Like there's the doubling down, the more isolation, the more like we had to fast harder, pray harder, put
Fasting and
ourselves, like,
starving. I
they
always want
called
to say
it
that.
right. Yes, that's my F word is fasting, and throwing yourself on the floor. They called it prostrate before God, like you're literally we're laying on the floor, and all these new revelations of the end times are coming. You got to get right, and it was just just leaving you in terror and constantly
All the
that.
time.
My husband calls it navel gazing, right? It's just like looking within. Where am I wrong? What did I do wrong? And she was just literally like Cruella de Vil. Like you notice how Jeff was like just started.
Cruella de Vil.
You know how Jeff just started like literally looking at the camera and being like, fuck you. Like he was just freaking out. He was freaking out.
So
and
aggressive.
He was acting like Charles
Yeah.
Manson and stuff. Marlene would do that. She'd just be like, I'm beating my breasts before God. I'm on sackcloth and ashes. You're all going to hell in a handbasket. And I'm like, where is this nice, sweet, quiet school marm that I met 16 years ago? She was a literal lunatic. And I think that they go crazier and crazier as they get puffed up with power. So that's my spiel. And absolutely. Yes, that was my answer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
I think that the phrase power corrupts absolutely is not a phrase for no reason. Witness said Darvo made me realize maybe it wasn't a me problem. Thank God, because it's not a you problem. If you're in a fucking coercive group or a relationship with a narcissist, it's definitely a them problem. So you guys, we're going on like an hour and a half. Is there anything that you feel like we didn't touch on? Like I'm saying this to you, Fallon, Marilyn, and Peggy, also asking in the chat if anybody has any kind of final questions or comments.
I think I want to,
and we have to get ready for the fucking raffle. We're doing a giveaway. How do we do that? Did we figure out how?
No, I think it's something you have to download onto your StreamYard. So what we can do is I don't know, pick some kind of number or something people can.
We were gonna say what were we gonna have them say?
Twin
flakes.
Yes, right. Twin flakes.
Yeah, everybody light up the chat, writing twin flakes.
And Peggy, you can click on stuff, right? Just don't look. And when it gets really going, do 5, 3, 2, 1, and twin flakes. There we go. And
okay, guys, hit up the chat. Go.
Yes.
Yep.
And you can
in the live chat.
And I can do a random number. That's how we did the other day. A random number generator between 1 and.
No, but I had to count all of the fucking.
We've got way too many.
We'll just click on somebody randomly. Okay.
People, people in both chats, Ashley's and Marilyn's. Go ahead, fast as you can, as many times as you can. Type twin flakes.
Yep. And while you guys are typing that, is
they'll do a
final
countdown
comments
for me? They'll do a
any final comments? Yes, we will. Fallon,
I think
Marilyn?
the only final comment I want to make that I don't know that we touched on a lot is just how dangerous their behavior was toward the LGBTQ community. And just, this community is still out there. I went on Reddit last night because I was curious. There are still threads where people are saying, oh, my twin flame, I'm sick because I'm watching my twin flame with their long-term girlfriend and it's just ruining my life. And there's still people in those comments answering them and saying things like, oh, well, just work on yourself harder and it'll eventually come around and happen for you. So like this isn't a documentary about like Jonestown that happened 50 years ago, and this is happening now. Like this is still
almost,
going on.
40,000 followers worldwide.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. I mean,
If you guys also, sorry, real quick, if you're
perfect.
not
Thank you.
subscribed to Marilyn and I at Coffee, Colts, and Crafts and at That's So Fucked Up Live, we can stop lighting up the chat. If you guys could just take these last few minutes to please, please, please subscribe, like the video. It really, really helps us. Like and subscribe. That's right. Yeah, that's the things.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of fucking damage to the LGBTQAI plus community. Yeah, they're absolutely just fucking that up really good. Marilyn, any last words of wisdom?
Oh, jeez.
From
Well,
the controversial crochet lady.
the controversial crochet lady. Just stay the hell out of those places. And I guess one of my thoughts is that Twin Flames, because it started to get so big and so crazy, it's on our radar, but there are thousands of these, and the internet is vast, and they gathered up 38,000 people like that. So just keep vigilant and watch out for that, and be careful.
Report their videos.
Yes.
Report Twin Flames on social media, on YouTube, everywhere you can. Flag their shit. That's definitely one way that we can all help. And yeah, be so not be afraid, but like watch yourself in online communities. Be vigilant about what's going on. Peggy, why don't we go in 5,
Ready?
4,
I'm not gonna look.
3, 2, 1. The winner is
Alicia RT.
Alicia.
Hey, congratulations.
Woo!
So, Alicia, you can send me an email at coffeecultsandcrafts@gmail.com, and I will send you a link. You can go to my store on Coffee Cults and Crafts on YouTube and click store, and there's all my merch there. Pick something you want, send me an email, and I'll send you a free link with free shipping. So congratulations.
Yay.
Yeah,
Marilyn, it's amazing. It's amazing how similar our business emails are, because mine is crochetcraftsandcoffee@gmail.com.
Oh my God.
I know, I was meant to meet you.
Are you guys twin flames?
Oh,
we're twin crafting flames.
Yes.
We're
crafting spirit animals.
Yeah, there you go.
And if anybody, the chat definitely got lit up. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Oh, actually, comments on TFU. Yeah, they're fucking assholes. They've unactivated a lot of their comments and stuff. So I think just like flagging their account and stuff. But yeah, we're definitely gonna log off here.
I know they've taken down a lot of their like controversial stuff. The content. So they're being pretty picky about what they're putting up lately, since they're kind of under the microscope.
Yeah, and probably not as easy to infiltrate their group anymore. Although if you want to give them money, I'm sure you can get in there, but don't give them your money, you guys.
Don't. It's not worth it.
And just stay out of cults.
I did get a screenshot from somebody is in their group and sent me a screenshot. It was from September, but it was like weird new age stuff coupled with Christian stuff. And it was like, don't ask God for anything. You have to thank him for stuff like the prosperity gospel. It was like, thank him for what you already know that he's going to give you. But then, he went on to say weird shit after saying the God stuff that most, prosperity ministers would say, prosperity gospel people. And then he was like, once again, it's not blind faith. It's encouraging us to actualize our highest potential, and something else really weird. He was just going into the whole nebulous crap. So yeah, they're still going, but they're trying to clean up their language.
Yeah.
Apparently Jennifer Hachia says that people are commenting on Jeff's profile, supporting them. That's like the fucking trash fire that comes with this shit is like, now they're being exposed. And then also a bunch of fucking nutbags are like, oh, cool, let's go join the cult. And
Right.
I love our culture of like blaming victims and supporting perpetrators. It just like,
It's
it makes
fantastic.
me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah.
Ash and Fallon, Alicia asks, does TSFU the podcast? That's what you, yeah. So, me and Fallon are the hosts of That's So Fucked Up, a podcast about cult, murder, and other generally fucked up stuff. If you guys are into that, which you are, you're here.
Of course.
Go check out the podcast. We have like 200 episodes or something. tsfuthepodcast.com. Can we throw up a banner of that, somebody? That's where you can find links to all of our social media, buy me a coffee, a Patreon, if you guys want some cool extra perks, or buy me a coffee if you just like want to buy us some coffee for all of our research and shenanigans. What else is
And
there?
the
Cult bingo is on the
bingo.
website.
The Patreon is awesome. It has 126 episodes that are not on the regular feed. All the first 9 seasons, I think, and a bunch of other really cool series like Ash Learns the Bible and Ash and Alex Do Scientology is on the regular feed. But there's also
All ad free, no ads.
ad
That's
free,
right,
which
right.
is awesome.
Which
And
is
then
the
there's
only way I
also
will listen to it.
there's also a new Patreon free tier that has a select number of episodes on it that you can start with to see if it's something you dig. And then if you want more, you can get all our other episodes.
Pup Groomer has been binging Ash and Jen at work while keeping up with usuals. Awesome. Yeah,
It's
Jen
a
has
great season.
Jen has a channel about narcissistic abuse.
Right.
That's at Ego Next Door.
Yeah.
And yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Pup Groomer. If you guys, we've got lots of videos up now. We did our last episode of last Friday recorded our first episode of the podcast
great.
live.
We did.
So much fun.
That's fun.
Peggy and I recently talked about grooming. That was super fun, obviously.
Dog
Marilyn and I,
grooming, the bad
no,
grooming.
yucky grooming.
Yeah, not like
Yucky
the fun dog grooming.
Yeah.
No.
Denver Steve-O said, stay tuned for Denver Steve-O's I'm So Fucked Up podcast.
Yes. Please bring that. I'll come on. Oh, and thank you. Mena said Ash and Alex did some of the funniest videos. Yeah, you guys, the playlist is right here on my channel too. He told me about the whole Scientology Bridge to Total Freedom. I got to learn about Xenu, Thetans, yelling at ashtrays, about how L. Ron Hubbard spoilies claims to be like Buddha and the Antichrist, and he says Jesus is a pedophile. There's a lot of hot takes when you get up to the higher levels. I know, fuck, but you guys should go watch the series because it's fun.
And it didn't cost you a dime.
I know.
You didn't have to pay $450,000.
I know. I got really lucky. I got a fucking really sick deal on that.
On that shit, yeah.
Witness loved it. You guys will love it too.
Just
Go if you're on Marilyn's, if you're on my channel right now, go subscribe to Marilyn's. What do you talk about, Marilyn? Everything.
Oh my God. I talk about everything. Yeah. We do talk about Scientology. We compare a lot of cults. I talk about, things that come up in the cultosphere and also in my chat. I really love to engage the chat. So I have morning musings and you never know what's going to pop up with that. We started out yesterday by talking about my biological mom that she passed away when I was 5. And we started talking about hoarding after that because she was a little bit of a hoarder, but she was a great, wonderful person. And we started talking about organizing. We were talking about trauma, how,
organizing.
Why
not?
It's very
how
organic.
certain things are trauma, right? How clutter can be a little bit of a trauma response, and it just goes tomorrow at 1:00 Eastern. I have Jilbo Baggins is her handle. You've seen her in the chats, I'm sure. She's going to talk to us about medical trauma, and she's a cancer survivor 3 times over. So
Wow.
yeah, she's
Wow.
amazing. I had a chat with her this morning, and I was like, I can't wait to talk to you. This is
Love it.
wonderful. And so that's tomorrow on Coffee, Cults, and Crafts at 1:00 Eastern.
Woo!
So
You guys,
come on
Peggy
in.
P said that they're wearing their "My Brain Hurts" t-shirt. Me and Alex made t-shirts. It
Oh
says
my
"My
God,
brain
awesome.
hurts" on the front, and it's all fuzzy because, like, more than once while he was explaining Scientology, I was just like, "Dude, my brain hurts." Like, what the fuck?
That
And
t-shirt
yeah,
is on Apostate Alex's channel.
yeah.
His merchandise. Yep.
And Renee said, "Thanks so much for the great live and an amazing panel."
Thank you, Renee.
Men a
Thank you for
second to
listening.
that. Thank you guys so much for being here. And yeah, that was such
Thank
a
you
fun
all.
little
This
like
was
Sunday
fantastic.
morning coffee and Colts brunch. I had so
It
much fun.
was.
So you guys make sure to like and subscribe, obviously, and obviously you need to subscribe or else you'll miss notifications. And like we're gonna try to be a little bit more scheduled, but also like, you know, you never know when we're just gonna hop on to talk about some wild shit. So
Yep.
make sure to subscribe. All right.
Awesome.
Bye guys. It's been so
Bye.
real. Have a
Thank
great
you.
Sunday.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.